Hey, what's up? Here we are, man. Another amazing interview on World Wrestling Live. Again, thanks for the support, everybody checking it out. We're here with another amazing wrestler and wrestling mind and coach in our country. His name is Coach Scotti Boykin. Last year he spent time at his alma mater as a UTC assistant with the boys down there. He actually wrestled there. That's his alma mater. He was a two-time SoCon champ, three-time NCAA qualifier. He's eighth all time in UTC history and wins. He was a US Open All-American. He was a World Team Trial qualifier, amongst many, many other accomplishments. He's here with us today and talking wrestling. What's up, Coach, man? How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself? Thank you for having me on here.
Yeah, man, it's pretty dope to meet another guy in the wrestling community, and it's been a blessing to have the show and to meet who I've met, and I'm just very thankful that people still want to come on. So
No, yes, sir. Hey, it's an honor to be on here. So
yeah, thanks. So first of all, man, talk about this off season, the crazy times, and how it's affected. I know you've transitioned from being a wrestler to a coach. So as far as your new career going that direction, man, how's it affected your off season?
yeah, so it's just ridiculous. Just trying to find something to do right now. Obviously, wrestler to coach, and I still wrestle freestyle a little bit too. So I'm trying to get some workouts in myself. But it's just been a weird transition. Who's willing to let us in their place, who's not, where we can find a lift, where we can't. All the school buildings are closed, so we're gonna have to go to clubs. I've been wrestling out of Kyle Dick's garage a few times. Just finding anywhere and everywhere. And then obviously from the coaching side, it's obviously we don't even have any guys over here yet, so I can't even really talk to them until they get over here. So that's just kind of been a bummer, really. But I've just kind of been hanging around, training, wrestling with Gabe and Max Dean, Kyle Dick, making sure that they're in shape, and we're just hanging around and just trying to be the best that we can be for next season, I guess.
Oh yeah, I mean that's cool. And those guys don't suck, huh?
No, it's a scrap every day you go in there, and that's for sure.
Yeah, and then there was who's the guy that was just forgive my ignorance. I'm learning wrestling as I go.
No, you're good.
Who was the guy that was just training Masvidal?
Masvidal, yeah, Bo Nickel was over there with him.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, actually. Good for him.
yeah, pretty cool to see a wrestler that's still currently doing it up there,
Yeah.
working with a guy like that. So
Oh yeah, he was out in Abu Dhabi. He was out there. I guess Masvidal took the fight with 6 days. I don't know how that came, but I think Bo Nickel goes out there and train. He wants to transition into fighting after his freestyle career. I guess it'll be after the Olympics. He'll transition into fighting. But yeah, he's got his foot in the door with the right person. That's for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, he's a beast, man. I think you may know this person, Jennifer Lamar Stevenson Boykin.
That's my mom. Yeah.
Damn, girl, she got like 5 names.
Yeah. She put her whole name on Facebook. I don't know why, but
It's like my wife is
a family thing.
wife is Hispanic from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
So I know, like when I go over to her house and meet relatives, it's like, Rivera, Trutino, Canana.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, well, you guys get to
No, my mom, she's straight white, as white as it can be. Make one West Virginia where she's from, and she just put her whole name on Facebook.
That's cool though.
That's funny. Hi, Mom.
Yeah, she's shouting you out. Good for her. That's cool. Well, so hey, listen. So you decided you were in high school. Had a decent high school career. Where did you wrestle at in high school?
Oh, Riverdale High School in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Nice. So you're Tennessee born and bred, huh?
Yep. Murfreesboro is right smack dab in the middle. So
Nice. So you decide to stay home. You pick UTC.
yes, sir.
And, man, talk about why UTC and what made you, other than Chattanooga, is just incredible.
Yeah, no, honestly. So actually what I started out, I wanted to play football really, really bad. I played middle linebacker, and that was kind of what I was looking for mainly. I didn't take wrestling as serious as I probably should have. But I honestly, my main focus at the time in high school was football. But, I just happened to have the good foundation of being a good wrestler at the time. So the recruiting process starts, and I'm getting letters from Virginia, Columbia, Duke, all these like really, really smart schools. And at the time, like my grades weren't the best. So they stopped talking to me pretty quick. So then I was like, all right, football. 1AA was where I was looking. So like Chattanooga started recruiting me for football. And they actually offered me and one of my best friends. But it was more like a walk-on kind of role. And I was like, okay, well, maybe if I can get my foot in the door, I'll join the wrestling team too, try to see how that kind of goes. Yeah, and that kind of happened. And then I started talking to Coach Esslinger more. And I placed at the senior nationals that year. And I just really fell in love with Coach Esslinger and what he was doing. Rocco was the one that was actually recruiting me at the time. So it was Rocco Mansueto, John Cerritos, and Coach Esslinger. And obviously, like being close to home, I remember I came on a visit right after the nationals, and I just told my mom shortly after, I was like, this is where I'm going to go to college.
And initially you're like, I'm going to go play football.
Yeah, initially I was going to go play football at Chattanooga, but then they wanted me to be a preferred walk-on the first year and then get money. And then Coach Esslinger was offering me money, a little bit of a scholarship. So I was like, I'll just go that way, and then just work towards that goal. And it ended up honestly being one of the best decisions of my life.
I mean, 8th all time in wins. There's been a lot of wrestlers go through UTC, so you must have not done too bad, huh?
Oh no, it was. I think it was how I started out. I had one of the coaches there, Coach Mark Ellis. He was a national champion at Missouri at heavyweight. And if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have had, the start that I had. And I mean, luckily for me, I didn't have very many injuries. So I was able to stay in most of those matches. But, looking back, I'm like, wow, there were a whole lot more that I had on my belt that I should have won that I have regrets about. And wasn't, looking back now, knowing what I know, I wish I could go back and wrestle those matches again with those just little adjustments.
Yeah.
To be 100-time, 100 wins or something like that.
But now that you think like a coach and not a wrestler?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Your boy, Nick Soto. Awesome. Hey, Nick, you can come on again, man, anytime. Nick was on early on the show.
Yeah.
To talk to him again about what he's growing over there. I know he's doing big things at his new school.
Oh, yeah. He's the man.
Your boy, Savvy, Big Boykins.
What's up? Yes, sir.
I had Savvy on last week sometime.
Yeah. I see him every time we're at the national tournament. He usually comes up here, too, every once in a while, up to Ithaca.
Yeah, it seems like a really good dude, man. I love he's got a dope-ass name. He uses that.
Yeah, Savvy. Yeah, you can't beat that at all.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. So, yes, first, talk about that. I know you transitioned from being a full-time wrestler to now you still wrestle, but mostly coaching now, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, talk about that transition. And I know you mentioned a little bit, like if you knew, I think we all feel that way. Like I'm 44, if I knew then what I know now. Yeah.
Everybody says it, but you can't really focus on it as much as you're an athlete. But once you're coaching, there's no pressure. So you can kind of just do whatever you want. And, it's the same stuff that you'd be doing. You just don't feel as pressured to do it. And it's just way better that way. But, transitioning it's kind of hard. Like you said, you talked to Gabe Dean before on here, but he's taught me a lot in this process. When I was wrestling, obviously I had to be as selfish as I could be. I mean, we're an individual sport. Everything, when we go out there, we're presenting our best self. And there's no excuses. You can't get any help from everybody. So you have to be selfish in the sport. Coaching, you're the complete opposite. You're doing everything for these guys. You want to be there for them. And most of the time, like these guys are away from college or away from their parents for the first time in their life. You're taking care of that. You're taking care of school issues. You're taking care of, off-campus issues, academics, all that stuff. So it's kind of like being a father almost and a coach, being a father away from home almost a little bit, but it's fun. You have to put yourself in a perspective of, it's not about you anymore. It's about these guys, and you have to be willing to do anything and everything to help them reach their goals.
Yeah, and I did. And that's awesome, man. And I had Gabe on earlier in my show, and I was really green at this, and I was kind of throwing questions out there. But I'd love to reach out to him again and maybe get him back on, because I think now that I've learned so much in my research, I've learned how to do things. I think I would ask him a couple different questions.
Yes,
So
sir.
like when Pat Downey called him out and said he was going to beat him he wasn't going to
Yeah.
win the national championship. I'd
Yeah.
love to know what his thought process was there.
Oh, yeah.
So little things that I've read now and learned, it's pretty cool. But yeah,
Yeah.
got to be some really good conversations in there.
Oh,
So
for
talk
sure.
about it. You're at the Finger Lakes now, right?
Yes, sir.
So you're in the Cornell room. Is that what you said?
We're not. So we just kind of use a little off-campus side, but I help wrestle with the Cornell guys myself. And yeah, I scrap with those guys. I try to help out in any way that I can. I'm not officially on staff, so I just kind of wrestle with their guys.
Man, so what a room they have. What a team. I mean,
Oh my
that
God.
that Ivy League is pretty cool. I know I used to get on every morning and watch the Coffee with Gabe.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's still doing it.
he releases them, I think, twice a week now.
Okay, yeah, he used to do
Yes,
it,
sir.
but I remember listening to him once, and I reached out because, man, that Ivy League has just grown to be such a beast and a force. And I'd love to see like Cornell and Princeton at Yankee Stadium or something, like
Yeah.
good.
No, it would be. It's going to be a battle, that's for sure. I think we have more firepower than ever right now. And we're really, really deep at every weight too. So, I mean, for me, I know I come in and it's going to be a scrap every day. It's going to be like there's no. I hate to say it, but like at some schools, there's easy guys that you can grab and kind of toss around for a little bit and kind of hit moves on. But right now, there's nobody in our room. I don't think. I think just walking into that room, just being around all the good talent right now is you can't help but to get better.
Yeah, and it's amazing. I've had Princeton on, I had Gabe on, Cornell, Yanni, JR, and then I had the coach at Penn on.
Mm-hmm.
I spoke to Coach Grayson over at the Naval Academy, the prep school.
Yeah, yeah.
At what was he at? Columbia, not Columbia. I forget where he was at, but another Ivy League school. And man, it
Yeah.
seems like that Ivy League is recruiting strong, and
Mm-hmm.
there's some really smart kids out there that are also
Yeah.
badasses, and they're
Yeah.
getting to these schools.
Oh, 100%. I don't even think it's really the education. You pay for the connections at Cornell. I'm a 100% believer in, wrestling is going to end at some point for everybody. Our sport's so vigorous on our body. There's really a short window for us. We can't go day in, day out until we're 35, 40 like these NFL players. It's got to come to an end at some point. I'm 25 and I feel like I have the back of an 80-year-old. And at some point, you have to go over and these Ivy League connections that, Gabe has set up, Coach Cole, Coach Gray. I mean, I think these guys are just coming out here with really, really good jobs, which is what you get out of an Ivy League school. And it's starting to become a trend now. Everybody's starting to pick up, being really smart with their ACT and SAT and take school a little bit more seriously as it should.
Yep.
And then they grow all these really good connections. And obviously, I think there's a certain type of kid. If you're really good in school, obviously you're going to be really, really good at wrestling. You're just kind of driven in that way.
Yeah, I mean, and talk about, and talk about your conference. I mean, I'm looking at the SoCon,
Mm-hmm.
and I've asked, I've asked the UTC coach. I've asked the Campbell coach. I've asked App State. I've asked, whoever's been on in that division there, that conference. Man, what makes you guys so effective? It seems like the SoCon has become a force.
Yeah, 100%. So before, when I first got there, it was all UTC. It was UTC team titles, USC tournament titles. But during about my junior year, I think App State took it, and then my senior year, Cola took it. So I think what's going on right there in the Southern Conference is the competition level is it's rising. And with great competition, the skill level's got to rise. Everybody's going to be pushing each other. So yeah, it's gotten really, really, really good. Before it's not looked at to be a great conference. But ever since App State won, and then Colott stepped in at Campbell and really did a good job over there. The talent has risen. Obviously, they had guys. We've had guys ranked. When I was on the team, we had 4 or 5 guys ranked all the time. Campbell and App State have, I think they had All-American. They both have All-Americans there.
And Campbell's put together an amazing coaching staff now.
Yes, sir.
Coming out of that Colott era, they got some with Scotti and the boys down there, and then
Yes, sir.
of course talking to Kyle Rochelle.
Mhm.
What I really enjoyed about Rochelle was you kind of get the whole family. You get the brother, you get the wife, you get the father. I mean, they came in there like, hey, we're a family, and we love you, and we all have wrestling. So that's got to be great. And then of course App State, with Boone and those guys up there, man. Yeah. Plus, man, you look at every school in your conference, it's all in like a badass part of the country. Like, why wouldn't you live there?
Citadel's in Charleston.
Yeah.
North Carolina. Boone, North Carolina.
Chattanooga. I mean,
Virginia. We had to go to some parts of Virginia, I feel like, every trip. It's definitely on the rise. That's for sure.
Cool, man. So, well, I know that you spent a lot of time on the world stage, and I know freestyle and Greco are very important to you. And I know you wanted to discuss a little bit about the importance of growing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. I think so. My brother, he's been in this game way longer than I have, and he's 4 years younger than me. He was right out of high school. He wrestled Greco. So right after his state tournament, his senior year, he lived at the Olympic Training Center for 2 or 3 years, and now he's at Ohio State. And then I started, getting into my freestyle stuff last year. But I think everybody has to have like a good foundation of that, starting in high school, and that's how you're going to grow the sport, right? We were talking about that a minute ago. What do we do at the highest level? Obviously, it's freestyle and Greco, and people aren't getting into that until they're forced to in college. When they have to wrestle U23s or whatever tournament. So, I just think that it's important to have that foundation. Greco, you got to know upper body. If you get guys in there that don't really know what they're doing, they're scared and they kind of bail out really easily. Freestyle has just been like a confidence booster. It's just kind of assuring when you're on your feet, because whenever you take a shot, you have to be in good position, or you're going to get taken over for 4, or just taken for a ride. I've taken some bad shots on Kyle Dake and end up on my back 5 feet in the air somehow. And, it's timing. All right. Yeah, I know why I did that, because my hips were out and he's able to chest wrap me and throw me over his shoulder.
Not a good feeling.
No, it's terrible. It makes me feel like a little kid again. He's 30 pounds less than me. But no, it's really important, and especially at the college level, to train, because it keeps you training year round as well.
Yeah, I think my son was a little bummed because last year was our first year doing like an off season.
Yeah.
But when I found the club, it was after the freestyle season, so it was this summer. And he was really looking forward this year to the spring session at CFWA, because that's when they focus on freestyle. So he was going to get an opportunity to learn that.
Yeah.
But life happens, and I just tell him control what he can control.
Yes, sir.
And let the world do what it's doing, and eventually he'll get back out there and do it. But yeah, I mean, one big, I never understood why it mattered until I started this show and talking to a lot of you coaches and wrestlers. So I was always like, well, just wrestle folk style and then whatever, and be good in high school and get to college somehow, and then it's history, right? And I never understood that they actually help each other or do anything like that. So now speaking with different coaches and stuff, I think he always understood it because he's become kind of a wrestling nerd. He's always watching wrestling. He's always watching moves. Last night he took my fat ass and threw me over under the wooden. We have a tile floor, and I thought I could put him in a headlock, and I put him in one of these headlocks to try and take him over, and he just turned it on me as he was going down. He rolled me. And then he put me in one of these things, where you I don't know what he does. He had his legs like inside out my legs and spread them, and I felt like I was going to get broken in half.
Yeah, a little spladle action.
All right. You win.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, I don't want to fight like street dirty. Like if you
Yeah.
hit me again, I'm gonna grab your nuts, stick you in the ass.
Yep.
I'm gonna do something like we learned on the street. Like I'm not.
Exactly. That's if I ever wrestle my dad and it gets to that point, he's
Yeah,
feel dirty and I won't ever do it again. I'm like, all right, you're right.
yeah,
You're right.
but man,
You got
he
it.
threw me down pretty hard yesterday, and he must be getting stronger because I'm 240 or whatever. So
Yeah, quarantine. It's quarantine. You'll get him.
yeah, so he threw me down pretty good. I told him my chest hurt this morning. And he punched me in it. I'm like, oh.
That's father-son love right there.
Yeah. So I think I've learned that that he has to do it.
Mhm.
I hear a lot about Greco and growing that, but mostly I hear like, hey, learn the freestyle because it affects everything else.
Yeah, 100%.
People on Greco, they're just like, man, it's fun. You get to throw people.
Yeah. And I mean, even if you don't wrestle Greco matches, I think it's really solid to have that foundation of just knowledge. A lot of guys just freak out if they go upper body. So if you're there and you're comfortable, I think it goes a long way. Like my brother, he wrestles heavyweight now. Not a lot of shots going to be thrown at a heavyweight, but he's really good upper body and he's able to put his body positionally where he doesn't have to shoot and he can just like slide a guy by or take him over or he's able to pummel and get in a good hand fight.
Yeah, and that whole argument about women and Greco, I think that based on talking to women wrestlers and girl wrestlers now and understanding what they've had to go through to get to college to a point where now they're only wrestling girls.
Yeah.
Like, man, they would be great at Greco.
Yeah, 100%.
If not, I'm sure there's girls out there right now that are great at it. They just
Yeah.
get it, but because they would explain to me how they would have to transition from I only had to wrestle boys. Boys had all upper body strength, so I had to get really good at legs, right? And then when I transitioned to girls, girls are all lower body strength, so I had to get good with upper body stuff, throws.
Yeah.
So it seems like what they've been going through and adjustments they made, that it would be, I think it would be great.
Yeah,
First of
100%.
all, I don't come from anything. I don't care.
Yeah.
If they wanted to make a girls football league, NFL, I don't care. I mean,
Yeah, do it. I don't know if you watched the Beat the Streets, the Rumble on the Rooftop or whatever. Did you watch that?
I did watch the Rumble on the Rooftop. Yeah.
I think the best match of the day was those two high school girls when she launched her off the mat, and I was like, "Oh!" I was watching it with a bunch of guys, and everybody in there was yelling. It was definitely the best match and most entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. I mean, obviously I was a little biased because we had a Florida guy up there in Pat.
Yeah.
I was rooting for him, and then no offense, Mr. Pletcher, I'd like to have you on my show, please, sometime. But I definitely was rooting for my Florida guy.
Yeah.
And, I know, and his coach he had in the corner had been on my show like the week prior.
Oh yeah. Was that Dan?
No, the pit coach.
Oh, pit coach. Was it Gavin?
Yeah.
Yep.
In the corner there, and Gavin's a great guy, and love you too, Gavin. But I got to root for my Florida guys, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I like Lugo a lot.
Yeah, I think I spoke to Coach Barry Davis, and he said that, man, his mind was really right this year, and he thinks he would have made the run. So
man, it would have been a very entertaining NCAA's this year if we would have had it.
Yeah, and I don't know how many Florida guys have ever won it in history. I don't know. I've never looked at it, but I'm sure not a lot.
Yeah, I want to say back in the day, Brandon had that run of really, really good wrestlers. I don't know. I'm not sure that any of them went through.
No, I'm interested. I'm interested to see. There's some really good Florida kids out there right now. The Riveras are going to Campbell, and UTC has Castillo and another kid there.
Logan Andrew, this dude, he's good.
Yeah, he's a beast. And then you've got Lugo's godbrother going up to Brettley Reyna, going up to Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, you just got Florida kids going all over the place. So I think there's definitely some talent coming out that can shock some people. So
yes, sir.
Fingers crossed. Man, they're funneling into the SoCon, those Florida kids.
Yeah. No, it's a good spot. Nobody wants to go up north too bad because it's too cold. I had my first one up here. I was like, dang, I want to go back.
Becoming like Lake Highland Prep North.
Yeah, seriously. Hey, funnel them over there.
Yeah, it's fun. All right, man. I got some questions for you. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, the Chat Smokehouse or Hickory Pit?
Oh, Smokehouse all day, every day. We love that place.
Yeah, the Chat Zoo or the Tennessee Aquarium?
Aquarium.
All right.
Aquarium.
Slicks or the Urban Stack?
What was that?
Slicks or the Urban Stack?
God, it depends on what I'm into. That's messed up. You're making me choose that. It depends on what day it is. Oh,
That's good.
mm.
I'd say push. I don't mind. There's no rules to the game.
Yeah, that was a messed up question. I'll go Urban Stack. I'll go. They got a really good milkshake.
You know, it's funny when I get these questions and I start asking it, people are like, "Man, you're gonna make me pick." I mean, that guy.
Yeah, come on, that's messed up.
That guy sends pizza our way.
Well,
Rock City or Ruby Falls?
Ruby Falls. It's beautiful over there.
South Side or Loopy's?
South Side.
The
South
Discovery Museum or American Art?
I'm not really big into art. I think I'd go Discovery. Discovery is pretty cool. It's for little kids, but I'm a big kid.
Yeah. St. John's or the Public House?
I gotta go St. John's. I don't really know much about either of them, but I know that they're renovating the St. John's. It was looking really nice whenever I left.
Oh, nice. All right. So I'm going to attempt this name, the Winnemucca Amusement Park or the Chat Market.
No, Winnepasoka.
Winnepasoka.
I was like, what is he saying?
Winnepasoka. All right, I got it.
I got to go Winnepasoka. That's a really fun amusement park.
All right, 2 Tennessee favorites: catfish or hot fried chicken?
My dad makes some really good catfish. I gotta go with the catfish.
Nice. I bet it's good too.
Oh, it's really good.
There used to be a place down here. I think it's still down here in St. Cloud when I was younger, called the Catfish House, and we'd go there and get.
Ooh.
They do like the fried green tomatoes and all.
Yeah,
that.
you can't beat it. My dad, we usually catch them and then he'll cook them the day after, and it doesn't get much better than that, honestly.
Oh yeah, it's like I took the kids down to the Keys to see my dad, their grandpa, and they went out and caught mangrove snapper, brought it back in, cooked it fresh with grandpa. Yeah, it doesn't get better than right out of the.
Dude, that's gotta be awesome. I don't know how much time you got, but Gabe and I went on this fishing trip with Max and Colton, one of the other Cornell wrestlers. We went out on one of the Great Lakes up here, Ontario, and we caught three really big king salmon, 16, 17, and 18 pounds.
King salmon.
And then we caught 2 lake trout that were pretty big as well. But we're still eating the salmon. We can't get rid of it at this point. It was so good, and it was fresh out of the water. You can't beat that kind of stuff. It was better than going to Whole Foods and buying it. I mean, it was just straight. Yeah. We ate it that day. Yeah.
I think one of my bucket lists with my kids, because they like to fish, is I always see like I got to find out where it is. Maybe it's up by Alaska or something, but I always see like on National Geographic, like where the bears just stand in the river and the
just catch them out of the water.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, where is that? I want to go do that. I want to be the bear.
That would be sick. Yeah, just have them coming upstream and catching them as they go. That would be sick.
That would be dope, right? So, I'm cool, man. All right, my last one: the Fairyland Caverns or the Raccoon Caverns?
I've never been to either of them.
All right,
I would just go with the Raccoon Caverns just because that's the only one I really see a sign of over there.
All right, I'll have to delete that question for UTC people because it sucks. Nobody interested. No. Nobody goes to the cavern. But what's more prestigious, the 32 or the Fargo?
I guess it kind of depends. I would say they're both really, really good tournaments. Don't get me wrong. I would say Fargo. Only for the sole. I'm not a recruiter by any means. I actually never wrestled in these tournaments, but I feel like more coaches gravitate for Fargo because you see who's training outside of the season, and you see who's got the discipline and who's wrestling hard. In the middle of the summer when you're not supposed to. So who's got the discipline enough to go out there and try to whoop somebody's butt? And then obviously it's freestyle and Greco. You're just trying to see who's ready to just go out there and wrestle. At this point, like everybody's pretty good at the high school age, but they're kind of looking for the guys that work hard, that are diligent, that just really want to wrestle. They're not going out there for the titles and stuff.
Your brother's at Ohio State wrestling now?
Yes, sir. Yep.
They got that kid Echemandia coming in.
Yeah.
I had him on the show.
Oh, really?
Super nice guy. I reached out after I saw that thing, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll come on." So we talked for a little bit. But I mean, how good do you have to be to walk into a tournament, Greco? You've never done it before, and you win the whole thing.
Yeah. I think he's like 23. And over there, that's all they wrestle is freestyle too. So he was like old, and that's all he did at the time. But he is definitely, there's no doubt about the talent that he has. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the future.
Yeah. Has your brother had the chance to roll with him yet or anything?
Yeah, so right before all the quarantine stuff happened, I think that he was hanging out with Nick. I think he was staying in his place for a little while. But I know that he was out at Ohio State before all the stuff went down. And Nick was, I think, in the trend. He was redshirting last year. So I think they hung out a lot, and Nick kind of hung out. He was like, yeah, he's crazy, but I like him a lot. He's a really good wrestler, and he's really strong. So
yeah, like I was going to say, like, no man crush or anything, but he looks like he works.
I'm excited to see what he's gonna do for sure.
Yeah, for real, it's gonna be fun. But man, yeah. Hey, look, your brother wants to come on. Tell him he's welcome.
Yeah.
And I'll send you. I have a link tree now. I figured out how to do that. So
very nice.
I can just send one link to you, and it'll have where you can book a show, or you can go on to the page and YouTube and stuff. I don't know. I'm learning as I go. These smart people are sending me stuff, and I'm like, hey, how'd they do that? So I go,
yeah.
So
Yes,
shout out to my man Chad Parks over in Iowa or wherever he's at. Where is he?
Awesome.
Missouri, Iowa. Yeah, he's out there, and he sent me a link to his stuff, and it was all Linktree, and I was like, oh, that's kind of dope.
Yeah.
I keep sending people like 10 different texts because I got,
yeah,
I hear you. I'm on YouTube. I'm on here, and then I'm like, oh, and here you can share the link to sign up. Now I got that one. So
it's made easy.
Yeah, man. Hey, this was super dope, man. I appreciate you coming on, man.
Yes, sir.
I just tell everybody keep kicking life's ass and having fun and just doing your thing, man. I appreciate it, man. It's fun. It was good to talk to you.
Yes, sir.
It's always great having conversations off the air. We talked for a little bit off the air, and that was fun.
Yes, sir.
I look forward to getting through the pandemic and hopefully life can get back to what it was. I mean, I think we're always going to have some sort of change to what was normal, but hopefully, like the flu, they'll create a flu shot. We can go to Walgreens and get it in our arm and get back to living.
Yeah, hopefully. That's all we can hope for at this point.
Yes, sir, man. Yeah. And I'll shoot you a text when we get off with my information. And man, let's do it anytime. Anytime you want to come on.
I appreciate it. That was fun.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, man. You have a good one.
Yep, you too, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.